therapy is very important to maintaining a healthy mind. However, the reality is many people can't afford it, and a lot of therapists don't accept insurance, or at least some of them. According to the American Psychological Association, people can see real results after 15 to 20 sessions of therapy. And one therapy session without insurance can average anywhere from $100 to $200, depending on where you go. So where do you go from there if you don't have the money to pay instead of just insurance? Joining us to talk about it, psychotherapist Dr. Nick Hardy and Dr. Christine Belliard. Glad to have you here. She is the owner of Sugarland Wellness Center, and congratulations on that. You got your little shirt on. But, you know, I think it was 2 years ago I received a letter from a family saying our child really needs, and it was an adult child, but really needs counseling, psychological help, but no one takes our insurance. So how did we get in this state in America?
Yes. I actually remember when that was going on, and sadly this is the case for many people, where we've made a big hoopla. Everyone, go to therapy, go to therapy.
Right.
And then I know we both get tons of calls of people saying, oh my gosh, first off, thank you for answering, because I have to say there is a shortage of therapists.
Yes,
that's
that
one
too.
thing.
Yeah.
Two, therapists are overwhelmed, and I want to make sure it's fair to the
therapists have to go to therapists.
Yeah, for sure. But I want to make sure it's fair. Sometimes we get blamed, like, oh, no one wants to take my insurance. It's not that. The insurance companies, unfortunately, do not properly reimburse therapists. Sometimes it's because they will say, oh, you know what, you didn't put in 2 words in your documentation, so that money we paid you, we're going to take that out of your account. Or your rate is usually $150, we're going to pay you $60. So it's hard decisions that therapists are having to make. I want to serve everyone, but at the same time, I have to ensure that I can keep my practice open to ensure I can be helpful. So it really is a catch-22.
So what's the difference between you guys and medical doctors? Because I went for a visit for like high blood pressure.
Yep.
I got the hospital charged me $4,000. I know the insurance company wasn't going to pay them that.
Right.
Yeah.
So do they just charge higher and hope for the best?
Well, they do. They charge higher. Typically, they're staffed differently, and so they have a lot of the kind of back-end administrative support that a solo practitioner just doesn't have.
Right, right.
Rarely will you go into a doctor's office and you just see the doctor in there, you know, but you will go into a therapist's office and just see the therapist, you know. And so, again, when you think about just that overhead, and true, they have, I mean, overhead is it's not an apples-to-apples comparison, but, I mean, they
just can't spend all your time fighting the insurance company, demanding fair payment from them.
No.
From your perspective.
No, you can, and they reimburse for the actual therapy session. They don't reimburse for everything that goes into that therapy session. And so, I mean, after a few clients, you end up finding yourself in the red, especially since they reimburse at such a lower rate.
Sure.
And like you say, if whatever you charge, where does that 60, what would be the charge? And then they say, we're giving you $60.
Oh, I mean, the average
We're
cost.
giving you gas money.
Oh, if that, to even get to the clinic. So most therapists may charge on average, depending on the area of the state, but about $150 a session. So if I'm only being reimbursed $60, that's a lot of money out of the therapist's pocket. And then the other thing I just want to mention, oftentimes people, when you're seeking services, you are looking for the person who has the most credentials. So they're looking for a doctor, they're looking for someone that's like So one thing I just want to share, maybe you want to be open to someone who is an associate, which is someone who is pursuing their licensure because they are under supervision under someone like Dr. Nick or myself. That's something. There are also employee assistance programs that do offer. When people call me, I say the first thing I'd recommend, well, of course, come to Sugarland Wellness Center. We do have students. Look, I had to. No, but we do take insurance. But anyway, but I really am serious. There are also training programs. People say, I don't want to go to a student who's being trained, but they have the most supervision of any of us. You may have 6 doctors on your case as they're training. So
and
that's
one of the things I heard tossing around in my meeting today when we discussed this was some may do payment plans. Is that possible, Dr. Hardy? And let's wrap it up.
Yeah, with some therapists that may be possible, but
don't look like you do it.
just don't get no crazy ideas.
Well, not
possible with me.
But thank you, guys.
Yes.
But those are some options.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us here on The Factor for that, because we get a lot of calls about that. Still